Hello and welcome to Pima Community College. My name is Patrick Lawless. I'm the Department Chair for the Building and Construction Technologies Department, and I'll be showing you around. I'm standing here in the main courtyard of the downtown campus. The ST buildings, where most of the BCT classes are located, are at the north end of the campus. There are two distinct buildings, one on the east side and one on the west side. Our classes are held in both of those buildings. This is the Bct Computer Lab in the ST East building. Most students will start their day here by coming in and signing into the lab. You may have a video that you have to watch. You may have an interactive lesson that's required. And those lessons will have to be done before you go to the hands-on lab. In this lab, you'll have to sign in to the Bct SQL system. This is where you will pick up your work that you've dropped off to be graded. And this is also where you'll be doing your testing. If you've never taken a self-paced class before, you may be asking yourself, well, how does self-paced work? Well, it's exactly like it sounds. You'll be working here when you have the time. Our lab is open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 in the afternoon. We take a short break from 12 until 1 for lunch, and then we're open again from 1 o'clock until 7 o'clock in the evening. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Friday, we have a shortened day. We're only open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12. You'll be instructed to access the BCT website for most of the information that you'll need for your courses. The BCT website will be further explained in this orientation video. Each time you come into the lab, you'll need to sign in on the Bct SQL system. This is how we know when you're in the lab and for how long you're here. Depending on the course you're taking, your test will either be by the module or a midterm and a final. Regardless of the format, you'll have to set up your testing with one of the lab technicians in this lab. And when you do that, you'll be taking those tests on the specific computers behind me. At this point, I printed out my progress sheet, and I've been following the specific steps as I go along. I've done my reading, I've done my quizzes, I've done my concept checks, and now I'm ready to do my hands-on lab. I've read over my hands-on lab thoroughly, so I know it's expected of me when I get over there, and now I'm ready to go do that. I'm ready to do BCT 105, hands-on lab, module number 2.
All right, and you did all your work, all the computer work, all the online work?
I sure did.
All right, let's go.
Each of the hands-on labs has specific instructions that tell you where to find the equipment and tools that you need to get your lab done. The toolboxes in the lab are labeled according to the class and the module that you might be working on. Throughout the hands-on lab, you will find specific equipment that will be referred to in your module depending on what class you're in and what exercise you need to do. There are exercises for electrical. There are exercises for soldering and brazing. There are exercises for plumbing, carpentry, HVAC, for your core classes, and any other you may need to do. This is the tool crib in the back of the hands-on lab. This is where you'll find all the tools that you need to complete your labs. As you can see, everything is in its place, and when you're done, you'll be expected to put everything back where you got it from, so that the next student may also use the tools to complete their labs. We teach approximately 40 courses here. Each one of those 40 courses has about 10 labs associated with it. So depending on the class you're taking, you could be doing any one of those labs at any time. After your instructor helps you get your materials together and you've completed all your lab work, make sure that you check with your instructor to make sure that you have any questions answered that may have come up during the course of that lab. Now that I'm completely done with my lab, all I have to do is put it into this wall pocket and wait for my instructor to grade it and return it to me. Remember that when you're working in the hands-on lab, you need to have your personal protection equipment on. Safety glasses, gloves, long sleeves, long pants, depending on what it is that you're doing in the lab. Your instructors will warn you pretty quickly if you're violating any safety rules. Each student has a folder in the computer lab. Within a week of turning in your work in the hands-on lab, it will go to your instructor where it will be graded, and then it will be turned into the lab tech where it will be entered into the computer. When you're ready to pick up your work, just talk to the lab tech. Do you have any work to pick up? In your folder, you should find your completed work with a red mark and a green mark on it. The red mark means that your instructor has graded it. The green mark means it's been entered in the computer. If it doesn't have both of those marks on it, then you're going to need to talk to the lab tech to find out why. Make sure that you're holding on to your paperwork until the end of the semester. If there is by chance a grade that's missing, you can show your lab tech that you've done the work because you've kept that paperwork until the end of the semester.